Right. Here we go. All right. Good morning, ladies. Happy Monday to everybody. I can't even believe the date. I mean, are you telling me like we're already at the end of April? And I remember when everyone was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's already March. We get through March because it was all about Women's History Month. And now we're already in April, and then April's already here and gone. Like, did someone speed up 2021 on purpose? Like, come on, why couldn't we have sped up 2020 instead? This is so crazy. But as you guys all know, Monday mornings we go live with a member of Lead Up for Women for them to talk about what's going on in their business, what's going on with them. They always have an offer, something wonderful for us to take advantage of. And ladies, this is an opportunity for us to tap into the resources of those women in our community. And I especially love what Stacey's going to be talking about today, because one of our members in Lead Up for Women has reached out to me in the last week. Her husband went from being fine to not feeling well, having back issues, going in to getting checked, not sure what's happening, thinks he threw out his back, to now he has kidney cancer. It has spread throughout his body. Stage 4, she went from everything's normal in my life a few months ago to her husband being in hospice care today. So I won't mention who that is, but she's in our prayers. Her family is, and we should always be praying for each other anyway. But this is really hit home, especially because I work so closely with her. And Stacey, you know, everything you do is about preparing for this time in our lives so that our families can feel confident knowing where everything is, knowing how to take care of everything for us, and not feeling like we're putting that burden on them, because we just never know how much time we have. We're never promised tomorrow. So Stacey, I'm excited that you're here to talk about this today. It's very timely, of course, with one of our members, but welcome to the show. And let's learn a little bit about you for maybe our members that are just meeting you for the first time.
Okay. Thanks, Kath. That's like Colleen. Wow, that story just blew me away. And, you hear these things all the time, and it's never comfortable. My gosh, you have to feel for the people that this is happening to. And thank God it's not happening in your house, but you never know. I got sick in 2018, so it happened here, and I was totally fine too. I mean, one day I was fine, next day I was in the ambulance. And, at that point, it's a little too late to start worrying about if everybody else knows how to handle things at home. But my background's been as a financial advisor. So I was a financial advisor since 1987, and I did that work for a lot of years and got sick in 2018. And it was due to stress. I mean, how many of you guys are under stress and you just think, oh, I can do it, and push through it? Well, it gets you sick. And, if somebody would have told me, and I'm sure they did, you work too much, you should have more fun, all these things. But I didn't listen. So it really does affect your health. And once your health is gone, there's not a whole lot left, because you can't really function on day to day like you used to. Fortunately, I've pretty much recovered. I still have underlying like autoimmune. So I have to be careful now with this pandemic. It's like I've had 3 doctors say, you got to be very careful, because your body isn't going to fight it like it used to, or could have, or other people. So that's put a little bit of a strain on me here. But I've been fortunate enough to realize that I can't be the only person thinking that, oh my gosh, I don't have everything together if something should happen. And so I've created an online course, and we went through beta back in December, and the response to it was just phenomenal. People were so happy to have a place to actually get this stuff done. We all want to do it. It's just, we never get around to it, right? It's not something you're going to spend your Friday night doing, or your Saturday morning, or whatever, on your own. But if you have a time and a place, it does get done.
Yeah. That is the one thing that I've said about Lead Up for Women forever. If you gather women and have a time and a place for them to meet, they'll come together and collaborate and network. But if I were to just have it to where everyone just joined the community, but then didn't have specific events or times, or, just deadlines, they would they would just never collaborate with each other. So again, this is just human. It's
Yeah.
how we are as humans. So it's so important for us to be thinking about this now and not when it's too late. And I know we think we have forever, years, and who knows when that time is going to be. I mean, my mother-in-law is almost 90, right?
Yes.
And so she's lived a really long life when other friends of mine have died in their 30s and 40s. So
Yeah.
we're never promised tomorrow. And you're right. We have to do something about it today. So Stacey, what do you do with individuals? How are you helping us get this put together? What are you doing? I know I love the challenges that you have coming up. We should be talking about that. So what is your role in all of this of helping people put things together? Because now from your own standpoint how crucial it is that we do this.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a fair question, because I think people misunderstand until I explain, like, what is my role? So I'm not an attorney. I don't do the documents. I'm not, not acting as a financial advisor. I am now a financial educator. Like, I call myself a financial advocate, because I'm advocating for you to like get the knowledge so that you understand how important this is. Where else are you going to get it? I mean, you think about it. They didn't teach it in school. If you're home, they didn't talk about it in your home, and nobody in your home is ready. And you certainly aren't learning it at work, and you're not talking about it with your friends. So how would you find out about this stuff and realize that like the train is coming for you? And if you're still standing on the tracks, it's not going to be pretty, because there's so much work involved. When somebody becomes ill or they pass away, you're just like handed this huge mound of paperwork and legal stuff. And like how do you know how to deal with that? Right. So if you become familiar with what's expected and what's needed, and it's all together, you then have a chance to, like, if the person's passed, to like at least grieve and celebrate their life, instead of being just inundated with paperwork and having to call and be on hold and hitting a lot of brick walls. Because if things aren't set up properly, you can't have access. And then you got to go to court. I mean, it just goes on and on. And until
Yeah.
you've been in it, you can't appreciate it. It's like when I got sick, I was in so much pain. I finally now appreciate when people tell me they're in pain, right? I didn't understand. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But now it has a whole nother meaning to it, right? Because I've experienced it. And I'm telling you what, pain is if you have pain, you can't think about like anything else. So I was thinking, oh, I'm down. I have all this time. I could catch up on my reading and this, and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I felt that way when I had COVID. Like, I literally, I tried to explain that to other people, where I was just exhausted to get up, to get a glass of water, to go to the restroom. I was like, that was all the activity I could do for one day. And then I was right back down in bed. That it's just sometimes your body is trying so hard to heal itself, that it needs every ounce of energy that you have, every ounce of energy in your body to heal itself, which is what you want your body to do. So remember that it doesn't have the energy to make decisions. We're not having the energy to make all these other decisions. And I've told that story before with you, Stacey, which was, our own kids have told us, please do not leave the burden to us to make decisions. That is the worst thing you can do. We're going to start fighting as a family. None of us want that. Don't do that to us. So we need to be thinking about, how can we make it easy for our families when we're sick or when we're gone. My husband and I just thought about this on Sunday, even though I've done all my paperwork and I feel like I've got it together. He doesn't know my bank account numbers. He doesn't know my business, logins and passwords. I have to have those secured somewhere so that he has access to those in case anything were to happen to me, because your brain is not going to be clear enough for you to be thinking to tell someone, well, I don't even know my passwords when my brain is clear. How are we going to know them when they're not? So again, it's not just for yourself, but it's for those that you love so dear, to make sure that things are taken care of, because you should never leave it up to the courts or probate or the state and they will get involved as fast as they need to. You need to make sure you keep them out of it by having everything taken care of. It's part of like your responsibility of being an adult.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? I mean, and you get it totally. You get it. And I just can't, stress enough for people to actually, come into my world. I feel like I'm here talking this all the time and people come and go. Like they get to come in, they kind of get to hear about it. They either decide to stay and fix it or they just don't. And, that's your decision to make. I mean, obviously, I can't force you to care about, like when I was in insurance and stuff, I would always tell people, well, I can't care about your family more than you do. I mean, I'm here trying to give you a resource, and I'm doing the same thing now, but I'm doing it differently this time. I'm not making myself sick over it. I'm not talking to just you, and then I can't get you to realize it, and then it makes me sick because I can't help you. I'm working with a lot of people, and so my role really as a financial advocate is I put together a course. The course takes you through 7 modules, and each module has about 4 lessons. And so you can do it in bite-sized chunks. You can see that you're getting progress, exactly what you talked about. Like we have businesses, right? If all of a sudden one day we get, hit by a train or a car or whatever, then who is waiting for us? Like if I didn't make it here today, you'd be on going, Stacey, where are you? Like nobody would have known to get a hold of Colleen to say, hey, she's not going to make it. Which I mean, it's not the end of the world with this, but some other things it might be more the end of the world, right? And one guy told me he was in ICU when he had people flying in from all over the world for an event. So he has got a guy flying in from Poland at the airport, nobody picking him up, nobody, no way to contact anybody. It's like things like that could happen, right?
Yeah.
And so you just want to make it so that people aren't left wondering. And then the other thing that I worry about is when you're taking care of somebody else, like they're depending on you and then you just don't show up. Like if you have like an elderly person or a neighbor that you check in on and things like that, then it would worry them to no end. Like, where is this person that is here all the time and so punctual and things like that. But so basically the thing of it is it's 7 modules. They're easy to do. Some things take a little longer than others. Some things don't apply to you. Some things do apply to you. Like if you have pets, okay, you have pets, you need to make sure that somebody's standing by that will take them like well in advance of, because you see these things. We have Nextdoor app. Do you have Nextdoor app? There's always somebody trying to get rid of somebody's pets that the neighbor passed away and now they have their cats or dogs if they're lucky enough to go get their cats or dogs. Otherwise they end up at the pound. And then older animals don't have a good chance really getting adopted so much. But I mean, there's just so many topics and we go through them all. And I mean, as much as we can, I'm not saying we hit like every single thing, but you feel so much better about yourself. It gives you that self achievement, when you get back on the back, go, it's been on my mind and I finally got it done. So the 5-day challenge that's coming up, has nothing to do with what we're talking about, really. It's a 5-day challenge and we call it the bucket list activation challenge. So, bucket list, how many people have done a bucket list, right? You might not have ever done a bucket list, but you might have done a goal setting. You might have done New Year's resolutions. You might have done something. They can all sort of go in the same pile and say, that's really a bucket list thing. Although we tend to think bucket list is longer term, like something that takes a little longer to actually come to fruition, but it doesn't have to be. It could be just something where you change your daily activities. Like, you sit every day you sit on your porch and you have a cup of coffee, like you give yourself that time. That could be something that you do would change your daily life.
Right. Something when I get older and I retire, I'm going to spend an hour outside on my porch every morning. Like you could do that now. You could totally do that now.
Exactly. And we just put off these things that we feel like we deserve, but we can't really, afford to take the time or whatever. Now, why not? Because you don't even know.
How fun. That's just going to be such a fun challenge to really look at our lives. Like, again, everyone is so in the moment of what we're doing. And we rarely step back and evaluate and think about or enjoy, the realities of the lives that we've created for ourselves and immerse ourselves in the joy of that and enjoy it. So this is a great opportunity for us to to really jump in and look at what that bucket list looks like. And not only that, and I put the link up there for them to follow on Facebook. Stacey, and I know you're going to put some comments with dates and some other things in there as well.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I love your course because it takes you through all the pieces, right? So it's like, I don't know where to get started. What do I do? What forms am I supposed to fill out? How am I supposed to do this? You take everyone through the exact steps that they need to do to make sure that they've got it all together. Their documents are totally organized. You know, everything's there, and they can take their time going through that to make sure that, you know, it might take you a week or two to get everything done in one module till you get to the next module. But if you don't have someone helping you and holding your hand through this, then you obviously don't know what to do. And that's okay, because most of us don't know what to do. I worked with an attorney who helped me kind of work through the process, but there's more to it than just that. You know, right. She didn't even know all the pieces of more things that I had to put together. There were more documents I had to go look for. So I love that you have it all in one place.
Exactly. Yeah. And so many people think, well, they have their will, or they have a trust and they're good, you know, or they have an accountant, or they have a CPA, or that's CPA. They've got a financial advisor. They have all these people with, you know, letters after their name, and they feel like they've arrived. But I'm just going to tell you, those people don't even have their own stuff done. So how are they like handling yours? Do they know if you want to be buried or cremated? Do they know who you want to invite, or not invite, but know to be notified if you were to pass away? Like, how would they know any of this stuff?
Yeah.
And then one thing we do is we write our own obituary. So you might think that's kind of like weird, but it's actually kind of cool. And it doesn't take that long. We use a template, and it's like, you really like, now you get to say what you want people to know about you, right? Like, how would anybody else really know your whole life and what you feel is important to share? Like at the end. So yeah, it's exciting. And the bucket list challenge thing, each day there's a new topic that we find a bucket list worthy item to put on the bucket list. And so we get through several different topics until we get to the 5th day. And then we have something that's very important. and there's prizes.
I can't wait. So what day does the bucket list start? Because we're running out of time. We're
next Monday. Next Monday. It's coming soon, the 26th.
Next Monday. Okay. Mm-hmm. So on April 26th, the 5-day challenge begins. How can they find the challenge? I put the link in there so they can click on that. And I think that allows them to register for the challenge.
Absolutely. Right? You know, we made it as easy as possible. You just register, and then you're on your way. You join the Facebook group, and you're good to go. And then just wait until Monday, and it's
going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, you should do this for you, right? This is something you need to do for you and your family. And again, check out Stacey and follow her, you know, connect with her, DM her, learn more about her course and how to get all of these documents put together. So important to do this. So thank you again, Stacey, for being with us today and for doing all of this out of your own hardships. You've put this together because you know how important it is for families to do this. So thank you so much for all that you're doing for so many people.
It's wonderful. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, ladies. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Get out and enjoy this beautiful weather that's out there in the spring, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Goodbye, ladies.